Hello everyone and welcome to Vulpine Esports channel for the Vulpine AGLS 3. I am your host, Soaban. I'm here with my co-host Darksil and our casters for today, Daniel and Tenrek.
And of course, if you're trying to engage close quarters, then that ultimate from Jibby is not going to have as much consistent connection as you would hope. Here's some early engagement here, actually, from Swansea Storm Red. Going to be against that Jibby. Going to throw down that dome on the defense as they're on the run. But that, oh man, that PC throwing out so much damage. And Red is going to try and move in on this.
A knock, but then they traded it. Here comes the bow from the Gibby. Another knock down. But here comes the third party.
Yeah, this is where the stack really starts out again. There's that risk from the close quarters fights we were talking about, and Red is really losing a lot of their ground here. Meanwhile, though, Smalls is actually getting a lot of stuff done in the crossfire. Lash has been recovered, and actually, it's still going to be Swansea Storm Red coming out on top here. I believe that other team doesn't know how good of a position they might be in. And oh man, look at the damage that Exploit's taken right now. Jackhammer and Gladiator already taking a lot of damage, already down to Red. So is Smokin'. Forced to bat out in close quarters, and oh, that Arc Star is going to reduce all the damage that Jackhammer just tried to alleviate. He's stuck back there. Gladiator goes down too. Forced battery, another one from Jackhammer, and Gladiator is going to have to get recovered here. Jackhammer trying to make a run for it, will succeed against the gunfire, but oh, there's another engagement from inside on the flank back. Jackhammer's alone, and there goes Exploit. Are going to pop out and not only make their way up, but try to dethrone the competition that these mid teams are looking for. It's almost a collaborative effort by the lower 2/3 of the scoreboard to try to make an attack against a team like Swansea Storm White, who is now sitting in the middle of everybody, and they might be in an even more dangerous situation right now. 5 gonna have to bat up, and they're sitting under this deck here. There's an early ult from the Bloodhound as the ult is gonna come out. There's another dome gonna be thrown out by McLee. That's a little bit of distance that they can traverse here, but not too much. Couple nades to try and engage, and there's the initial kill off on a Tadbog. It's still Swansea Storm White who is playing the edge of this storm, but can they play it well? Couple pot shots into the remaining 2 members who are still sitting on the edge of that storm, and that's actually gonna be this squad wipe there. Swansea Storm taking them out, and it's going to be a top 4 situation.
Yeah, exactly, and they're just fight after fight again. Like, they've pushed down back to their position, but they have one down, and they're already needing to engage in another fight because they've been pushed.
Team, because it's almost a game of chance, a coin toss of which team is going to come in first and can we handle them. And the even scarier question, are both teams going to just happen to move in simultaneously? How could we possibly handle that? There's a lot of questions that still go in, even if you're in the safest territory possible. And because of that, we're going to see a preemptive engagement onto this far side. And actually, it's going to be Not in Transit who is sitting in that sheltered location and actually moving in towards this new location, trying to get more of a centered approach, doing a lot of damage on this mid end right now, and it's still a triangle of teams. A dome goes up after the Jibby ult on the far side, trying to get some damage in, but somebody's infiltrated that dome before getting taken down. It's another Jibby top 2 situation right now, and it's Swansea Storm versus Not in Transit, the number 1 versus the number 3, and Storm just had too many resources left. They're gonna take yet another dub.
Yeah, I mean, textbook play there. They threw Not in Transit threw the Gibby onto Swansea, but they were there like, we're holding our ground, we're staying firm, and then Not in Transit decided to push into mid, where they then get pushed by the other team, and unfortunately one of them does end up going down.
Bottom circle, I'm getting deja vu here with this positioning. Will the teams adjust properly, or will another team find their faults once again? And here's the first fight. Coventry Crosshairs might be able to find some kills, conversely to their previous match here, if they can manage to get this fight going. There's an EMP out early, and there's a lot of damage done to Mickey and Goose out the gate. No shields available. Bread Harvester trying to maintain the littlest bit of shielding right now. Everybody else has got to try and get their health back up. Has solid cover to do so. They were playing a lot of distance here, but Goose, after unleashing a couple traps, is getting fired at from all sides. Gets down first. Mickey, possibly the next to go here, still looking around a lot of corners. Goose was shot at by only 1 or 2 members of the opposition here. They still don't have complete knowledge of where they could be, but the maids certainly know where the members of the Crosshairs may be. Taking some pot shots high and away. crack in these cliffs. Look at how tiny a space they have to work with, and oh, there's a team right outside the edge. All they have to do is turn around, and QMC is in a more dangerous position than ever. But at least Turtle knows that they're walking into somebody who may have been there recently. That's the help of that Bloodhound, and yeah, there's that jump pad. So they know they might be walking into something a little bit dangerous. There's a solid jump pad into a drop here. The question is, do the opposition know that they're still there? There's some free fire away. They didn't turn around long enough. That's a lot of free damage coming on from QMC. Hiccup gonna take a little bit of damage off that shield, but it's a quick squad wipe there. And just like that, QMC has taken the position that was presumably most powerful for them not 30 seconds ago.
And unfortunately, with that teamfight win for QMC, that means that both crosshair teams are out. But here comes the third party. The Octane Hiccup gets downed so quickly because they're just being team fired, and the Wraith is following suit. Oh, this Bloodhound is so low. Can they get out in time, and can they get the rotation just to be inside this South of Harvester?
Oh, that's tragic. Couldn't get in time. It's still Dustle on the run. Get that hustle in, buddy. You're gonna need it to try and survive here, at the very least for some extra points in placement. Had to try and shield up, but there's too much gunfire against him. There goes QMC, but not before taking some points along the way. And I believe it once again was Swansea Storm White who took the kill. This is a very interesting stalemate here on more even ground than I think we tend to see for these sort of weighted out fights. It's a lot of altitude play that we've seen so far. That's a lot of the reason why QMC failed on that third party engagement, not only because they just didn't have a lot of health, and wow, I wonder what Vanix is doing here. They sort of boxed themselves in, and they're gonna go down for it.
Fighting so often, and they've been getting the clean picks that they are just max eco shields, if not close to. So Space Crew, they've made this rotation out into the open field. They've put down the Watson pylon to potentially try and stop these ults. Both Gibby and Corsical come out from the Owls, but then the Owls get pushed and the Gibby goes down.
Oh, that's a massive pickoff from White here, and they're gonna keep their push going onto Space Crew, who has made it into the tunnel that the Owls and White were resting on. They're actually gonna make their way under here. White can get the drop on them as they're gonna make their way over this railing to make sure that they can get the optimal position when they drop down against the members of Space Crew. Circle's still closing in. White's gonna start spreading themselves a little wider open, including Tedbog under that bridge. Everyone from Space Crew trying to save face, get under that railing as much as they can. They're on the run, can't get enough fire in. So much damage coming up from White, but Space Crew still hasn't gone down yet. There it goes, and Swansea will once again take one more game.
Yeah, I mean, again, textbook play right at the very end. They punished the rotation from Owls, who were trying to get the last some picks from Space, and then they just ended up coming in quickly and getting those picks to then hold that height and kill Space.
Yeah, the longer that charge rifle among other guns gets used, the more opportunities other teams have to hear it, and Hydraulics sort of have an idea that the Maids are moving in right now, especially thanks to that EMP that was thrown out by the Maids here, and there's the engagement on the lower side. But Hydraulics is starting to get surrounded here. There's two already down. Cheesy Guy, the last remaining member, has to move in as quickly as possible. Not able to save one of the members. Todd is already gone, and Cheesy Guy is getting melted away. There goes Hydraulics. They're gone.
Get this kill onto this team that's holding height.
I'm just now getting intel that No Org was the team to go down first in this game, and that's actually massive for the Maids who just got those elims. They're able to make a lot of ground here with those kills and potentially dethrone No Org, along with potentially Coventry Crosshairs if they were the ones who got those kills onto No Org. This could see a massive shift in the scoreboard here, as we'll see. Not in transit attempt to engage along this mountain. There's one down already out the gate, and everybody else is still trying to retreat here, but it might not be successful as Not in Transit can follow along that jump pad. There's all three members jumping along the way, trying to go for both members who have been separated. It's 2-on-1 on the left, 1-on-1 on the right side, and there's the extra detection for good measure. Not in Transit has gotten the 3 kills that they need to. With Cadet, which team is that? Is that Space Crew?
It doesn't matter, they're being pushed by a whole nother team. The Octane Pad has come in, and as out comes the Gibby Bubble just to provide some cover for this team. But they're just being fried. Like, this team decided to third party so quickly, but because of how split the last member was, like, they can't really do much.
NIT still trying to engage along another member here, trying to do as much as they can. Gonna do a solid amount all around. Get those last bits of kills onto Vanix as well. Man, the bottom of this leaderboard is already just about melted away. Space Crew, Hydraulics, and Vanix already just about left for dead here. That's massive for the rest of the members who are sitting around the mid side, and Exploit is still alive, still out there trying to cause some damage, but not too much so far. NIT on a tear, though. There's another one down. And NIT, man, they really could make a tear for first place here if they keep up this pace.
In-game leader, which just helps so much. And as we cut over to Not in Transit, they're just cleaning up kills and potentially going for the res onto their down teammate here.
Well, actually, it's still a fight being engaged on the top half here. And NIT is at a pretty bad condition here, but they are able to win out this fight just barely. And that's going to be another team gone. Now a top 7 situation. That was Swansea Storm White, actually. They managed to finally get finished off here. There's 2 teams that are bottlenecking right now. That could be the most dangerous fight yet so far, and it's the Crosshairs Legends being aggressed too hard. There's one already down. Crimson, maybe the next to fall. There he goes. Now it's just EB, and there's all 3 gone just like that, taken out by, who do you think? NIT.
All that it takes is for one headshot on one of any player in this lobby, and they instantly get knocked, which is a very good opener for a fight. And as we see here, NIT, they're just going to be pushing in. They're going to be taking the fight close range, and they've got the knock on the Valkyrie.
That's an early extra kill as they find their way down this corridor, trying to find another one. There's one more! And is that another squad? That's another squad! Top 5 situation, and NIT has forged the path nearly all by themselves! There goes Swansea Storm Red as well. They've taken out both the SS teams. Top 5 here as the circle will once again close in on the very center here, and NIT once again the first to engage in this fight. In order to take away first place from Swansea Storm White, they have to take 7 squads worth of players along with the dub, more than half of this lobby to even tie with SS White. And while that doesn't seem too easy, NIT has made this lobby look like one of the easiest pump stomps yet. They might not be able to get first place, but I mean, Daniel, they might get as close as can be with the engagement that we're seeing right now. Look how unfazed they are by anything that's thrown at them, including a dome, a grenade, 2 go down from NIT. It's still just Lightspeed. This could be their last hurrah here, as it's just Rayru trying to get some semblance of damage onto their opposition. He will get it! There's another squad gone! Top 4 situation, but he's getting regressed by the third party outside of the door in that cave, finding it a bit hard to recontest. Here's another squad walks in on him into that cave. Rayru unable to take all of it. NIT finally down.
But instead, they're just playing as a unit. They're playing as a team. They're holding their position because they know that they have it. And, oh, here comes the pick.
That's a big first pick onto QMC from GCS Owls, who are the ones who are holed up in that building. They're going to be the first to engage. And while there might be enough time and room for a res here, everybody's gonna walk in on relative scraps here. Nice ult here from the Jibby in Seaweir onto QMC. That's a lot of pressure, making them utilize the dome a bit earlier than I think QMC wanted to, but GCS can still continue to take their time. Kraber pot shots from Shine, who has held on to that thing for so much of this game. Very admirable. There's the dome out this time from Seaweir. A lot of free room into roam into the middle of this circle. A little more space, a little more domination, but can GCS get the little more points that come with first place and potentially make their way even higher up the scoreboard? There goes Shine. There's 2 more members to work with, but the Owls are going to make it work and take game number 6.
Yeah, like the Owls were playing so disrespectfully at the end there, not bothering to heal in a 3 versus 2. They just pushed in because they knew that they had the advantage. They had the thirst on their knock, and then they just had the caustic gas to allow them to push up and apply as much pressure as they needed for that dub.